All right, good morning. So I've got the black Range Rover running pretty well, at least in my opinion. And in today's video, we're gonna see if I can daily this car all day without any issues, which might not sound like a good idea.
The heat doesn't work super well.
The heat works fine, but I'm raising the stakes to make this more interesting. And let's see how it can function as a normal car. All right. Let's see if it'll even start.
Give him 80s.
Woo! So this is not the first start of the day. Started this morning, had a long crank, but this one always kind of is a long crank. EFI lights back on, but I've got pretty much everything working in the car now. Heat's working. What else wasn't working? No, the turn signals. I got the turn signals working. It was the number 2 or 3 fuse had been pulled because when you put the fuse in and then you turn the car on, the 4-wheel drive high-low alarm was stuck on. And that's probably why the previous owner pulled it. But if you pull the dash, if you pull the dash panel, there's a yellow, there's a purple and black wire that you snip that goes into the sound control relay. And yeah, I just snipped that one. It took me a while to figure that one out. And it's fine now. So I've got turn signals and horn and hazard lights. That was all non-functional previously. So, but we're, it's about 6:30 in the morning. Again, we made it here, no problems. And we're going to make it back. I've got a couple other errands and stuff I'm gonna run throughout the day. And I'm gonna attempt to use this as the daily driver, and we'll see how it goes. That's a cool view, a little night train action. Cold morning, but the heat's working, fog lights are working. Cindy was making fun of the strength of headlights, but I think they're more than adequate for an old car.
28 degrees.
Still good. The EFI light came back on yesterday. Might have to reset that relay. I don't think it ever affected anything. I think it's on in most of my non 4.2 Rovers. I've done a little bit of research and really haven't found anything definitive to really take me back to what that is caused by. Unless it's an O2 sensor or something, who knows? Doesn't really affect how it's running. If you either jump out or reset the relay, it fixes itself, but haven't really run into a major running issue due to that at this point. All right, back in the 88. Got to run to the shop, drop off a check for another Range Rover. Looks like we're going to be buying that blue 95 soft dash that I think you saw in the walkthrough video. Customer's car that I don't think wants to go through with getting it back up to what it needs to pass Virginia State inspection. So looks like we're going to be taking that on as a project, and I'll probably do an update video of that later on in the day. Again, so far with this one, no major issues yet. I was looking at that temperature gauge, that was my main concern. It was kind of going in and out a little while ago, but when we put an IR gun up to the radiator hoses and the block and whatnot, all the temperatures seem fine. So I don't know if that was a sticky thermostat or just a fluke with the gauge, but right now it's been, I probably put about 25 miles on it so far without any type of issues. So fingers crossed. The upside when we bought this truck, if you remember from watching the previous videos, was low mileage, mechanic maintain, which isn't always the best thing, but the truck has a little bit of rust, so the upside was that it was going to run well and wouldn't really need a whole lot of mechanical maintenance besides fluids. And so far that that ask has actually been fairly true. So can't really ask for a whole lot more than that. Radio's working again. I think when I fix that fuse, it is no longer killing the power to the accessories when I turn it on and off. So I don't have to put the code in every time. Still have a couple windows on that side to work out, but you know, everything else is working great. I probably have to replace the old washer fluid that's in there. It looks like it's already kind of frozen up, so that'll be on the list of little ergonomical things to do. But other than that, I am driving this like a normal vehicle, which is surprising and impressive. Actually, it's fun to have one of these things that I can actually drive around without any major issues. So I'm gonna go check out what's going on at the shop. I'm off today. My silver Rover's in there to get some brake lines put on, the brake fluid flushed after the little incident the other day with the sticky caliper. Hopefully the caliper's okay, but you know, if not, I'll replace that. So not a bad lineup for the rest of the day as far as car stuff's concerned. But you know, when you have these days off, you gotta take advantage of it. All right, made it up to the shop. Just had to drop some things off. This is what's gonna be coming later. Hopefully we'll be getting the keys to it later this afternoon. Maybe do an update video on it, but that'll be in the future. Got a whole bunch of SUVs up here now. Another Healy that was dropped off, so yeah. But fire this thing back up and take off again. Notice there's no nothing's dripping, nothing's leaking, so it's still doing pretty well. You know, these tires are older, but they've got decent tread, so in my world, it's not too bad. Get some ice melting off it, but so far so good. All right, part 3 of the day before Christmas Eve in the 88. Still no issues. And you know, if anyone's watching this video thinking, why the hell is he driving around just documenting a car from the late 80s? It should be running fine. Probably hasn't seen my other videos or has owned an old Range Rover before, especially one that really hasn't been on the road in 5 years. I mean, literally all I've done to this is change the oil and mess around with electronics and, you know, just kind of put some seafoam in it, honestly. And now I'm just driving it around, which is kind of the beauty of some of these old rigs. And yeah, we're gonna grab some stuff downtown Richmond for some Christmas presents. Yeah, I guess no news is good news, honestly. I'm gonna grab an Easy Pass. Cindy is also excited to potentially break down like we did last time.
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled.
But still running a good temperature. Everything's still functioning on the inside. Had another hard start, but again, I think I just let the fuel pressure build up a little bit, or else there's a dead spot on the flywheel. I'm not really sure what that is, but it seems to be getting better the more I drive it. So that's kind of what the plan is at the moment. But still smooth, still brakes strong. I know, I'm jinxing it. Steering's still tight, so, you know, it's just being a normal car right now. Dull. 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 Oh. Look at that. Live. That's the radio. All right, we're turning onto the expressway here. I don't think I've ever really taken this over cruising speed, so we'll see where we end up.
Pushing the limits.
Yeah. 70. Got a little bit of front end wobble. These tires are probably out of balance. They're definitely older, so yeah. I mean, we're right at 70, and it's smooth. Anything over that, again, probably needs a steering stabilizer or something from being old, but that's pretty smooth. I'll take it. A little bit of lift-off rumble from the exhaust. I should also check these tire pressures. I don't think I've done that before, but they feel pretty solid. Coming back up to 70. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't like these divides too much. A little bit of, you can feel it in the steering wheel. But still way smoother than the other Rovers we've taken up to speed, and also pretty quiet. The sunroof seal doesn't line up 100%, so you get a little bit of wind noise, but that's really about it. You know, so 70 miles an hour, 2,300 RPMs in fourth gear. Very reasonable, but no other mechanical whines or anything from any of the diffs or transfer case. So I'll take it.
And hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time.
All right, trip number, 5, daily driving the 88. Mike thought it was a bad idea, but
remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen. We're still doing good. We're actually headed to the Richmond Auto Auction and check out a dealer event. So it's another 7 or so miles from where we left off at, and we're still doing fine. So again, you probably can daily one of these until you can't. I don't think there's going to be a definitive answer.
Work till it doesn't.
Yeah, work till it doesn't. 95, that looks pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Doing some testy boys on her. Yeah, that's smooth.
Yeah.
Even like shot suspension to keep her moving. Down here at Motley's Richmond Auto Auction. It almost looks like it should be an auction car, but it's not. So, gonna go tour the place and see what it's all about. Maybe come back, but not a whole lot of deals you can find at an auction these days, so we'll see if it's worth our time. All right, so the auction was a success, and in fact, we didn't buy any garbage. Oh look, lug nuts. There's a lot of lug nuts on the ground. The highest mileage, I mean, I'm gonna go look that up, but that's gotta be the highest mileage M6 around ever.
185.
185. It's impressive. 2016. Woo! So, you know, again, auctions don't really have a lot of good deals these days, but it's always interesting to find something once in a while. So, you know, as far as the cars we saw last time we were there, you know, that was a lot more interesting. Seeing how that 4Runner sold for $500, you know, you can still buy a $500 car at an auction. You're just gonna get hit by fees. And the Blue Angels Kia was like $800. So again, people are always in the market for garbage, and garbage is not going out of style. So keep that in mind.
I wonder if this one belongs to the train.
All right, that's a wrap. So looks like about 41 miles, over a quarter of a tank, and no major issues. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed. That's kind of, you know, you got to run these cars to some paces before you kind of give them a stamp of approval. And this is probably more than I've done in my personal Rover. So again, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of it. I didn't really think this car was gonna have a whole lot of problems, but you never know. It's an old Rover and stuff comes up. So that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, it's still not dripping anything. Not a bad day. Not a bad day.